What led me to Tai Chi, February 6th, I had a stroke. My whole right side was paralyzed, and so far I'm the only survivor in my family with a stroke. I couldn't afford for physical therapy, so this is better than physical therapy. It's hands-on, and it's really been beneficial to me, and it's free. And I'm getting most of my movements back with a little pain, not as much as I've been taking Tai Chi. It's really been beneficial to me.
So you've really noticed some mobility?
I've noticed a huge, tremendous change, physically and mentally.
Years ago, I was diagnosed with diabetes type 2 and began a regimen of insulin once a day. I was started out at 20 units of insulin per day, and then gradually watched my diet, did my walking, and got it down to 18 units. And then last December 2012, I started the Tai Chi. And by April 2013, my doctor took me off of insulin, and since that time I have lost 20 pounds, and I have to say I believe part of it is due to the Tai Chi class I've been taking. My name is Margie Abarca. I'm 65 years old and in better health than I've been in a long time, thanks to Tai Chi and Landon Center.
I started coming to Tai Chi class over a year ago, and before that I thought I had left weak knee. I had problems, going up and down the stairs, and I didn't have any injuries to my knee. I am a swimmer. I thought I had good muscles, all that kind of thing. So I started coming, and suddenly I realized I had a muscle on my hip that I wasn't aware of all these years. And as I did all the movements in Tai Chi, I realized that muscle was getting stronger, and before I knew it, my left knee problem was gone. I could go up and down the stairs without any problems.
And how long had you had that problem?
Well, on and off, I've had, that knee problem when it comes when I don't want it to come, When I'd be someplace and I'd like to walk nicely, suddenly it gives up on me. So it's been a nice discovery. I didn't realize, there's so many muscles involved, and that Tai Chi, especially that, where you just empty one leg and go to another leg, those kinds of things, I thought that was the most helpful.
There you go, Charlie. You're in the video too. Okay. Now.
My name is Lynn Perrin, and I have multiple sclerosis. I have primary progressive, which does not become relevant or obvious until you're in your middle 50s to 60s. And Tai Chi has really allowed me to improve my balance and my fatigue. Those are two big things with MS. And so I found when I first came to to the Tai Chi class, I would be so fatigued I could not stand up and participate in everything. And my fatigue level has really gone down. And so I can participate in most of the class now. And it really has helped with all of my symptoms of MS. I have noticed a big improvement on my outlook on life in general. And multiple sclerosis can really bring you down. And I have gotten Bill Douglas's meditation CD, and it really, really helps me to relax and get back on track and just get the negative thoughts out of my mind. And I really, really recommend Tai Chi. I'm reading Bill's book, The Idiot's Guide to Tai Chi, and it has been very helpful and gives me a good perspective on what I need to do in my life, because I am very handicapped and I can still drive, but I can't walk far because of the fatigue and my loss of balance. And so the Tai Chi class really helps me to improve both.
I've certainly felt that I've gained quite a bit from the Tai Chi class. What I really noticed about what I've gained is flexibility and also I think balance as well. I had some problems with both of those, rather stiff and all, and I feel that in the maybe 2 years or so I've been here working with Bill Douglas, that I've really improved in the flexibility and balance. Those two things for sure. And also I very much have enjoyed and feel that I've gained quite a bit from the meditation part of the class.
My name is Mary Beveridge, and I've had Parkinson's disease for the last 10 years. I started Tai Chi because I had heard that it was good for improving your balance, and it's fulfilled my expectations. With Parkinson's disease, you lose a lot of consciousness of where your body is in space. That's why you're always bumping into things and tripping and falling. And it's made me much more conscious of my body and how I'm moving. So several times when I almost fell, I've caught myself. I also find that it's both relaxing and invigorating. And even if I feel sort of tired when I'm coming in, I always feel a lot more energetic afterwards. I try to do it at home at least a few days a week. I don't always accomplish that. I studied Tai Chi at the Turning Point, a class taught by Bill Douglas.
Well, a couple of years ago, I decided that it was time I had to do something because my stress levels were getting ridiculous. And I'm sort of the sole caregiver for my wife, and I've got some issues of my own. And I was sort of brought home by, right after I started, I had a TIA, and which is, they call a mini stroke. But you know, it's good enough to get you to stay in a hospital. And at any rate, the following week I was back at class, and I've sort of been pretty religious about doing it ever since. And you know, I figured, well, it'd be good, you know, to help recover from the stroke and also reduce stress and all that. But after a couple months, I sort of decided that no, the real reason I'm going is because it's a lot of fun. And I just sort of, you know, I was conscious of the research and stuff that said, yeah, it has all these benefits, but, you know, that really doesn't affect your desire to go to something. And I kept doing it, and then I started to notice certain things. I noticed that my balance was getting better. I noticed that my range of motion was increasing quite a bit. And then I've been a diabetic for 10 plus years, and it's been sort of a constant struggle trying to get that under control. And my A1C, which they shoot for trying to keep under 7, it was a real struggle trying to do that. And the doctor kept adding more and more medications, and he was right at the point where he was saying, well, you know, it's time we got to look at you going with insulin injections, which I really wasn't too fond of doing. Yeah, the one medication I was taking, it's, number one, it's quite expensive, and number two, you have to inject twice a day. And what makes it even more of a pain is it has to be taken between an hour before the meal and the time you eat. You can't take it afterwards. You can't take it sooner. You know, you're sort of limited. And if you're like going out to dinner or something, it gets to be a real hassle. And that was one of the medications that my doctor ended up deciding that we should get away from. So I was real happy about that. Plus, you know, sticking yourself every day is not a fun thing anyway. I mean, you sort of get used to it, but it's still not fun. My doctor and I have sort of a interesting relationship. He tends to be a bit of a pill pusher, and you know, I've had, you know, some issues over the years with, you know, I sort of strained my ACL in my left leg, and I had some hip problems, which I wasn't sure what caused it, but you know, he gave me some medication for it anyway. And after a while, it finally went away, but you know, I don't know that it was due to medication or not. But you know, since I've been doing Tai Chi, I haven't had any problems at all with either my knee or my hip. And you know, my doc, you know, was sort of curious about that, and then, you know, I mentioned Tai Chi, and he figured that was sort of a paradox because you're not supposed to move to make it better, and you know, and of course, you know, he sits around all day and pretty much, and you know, after he got done saying that, you know, can't understand why moving makes it better, you know, he tried to get up, and I mean, he was moving older than I am, and he's quite a bit younger than I am. So then with the thing with the diabetes, he asked me if I'd made any changes, and really, you know, the only change I've made has been you know, doing Tai Chi, and you know, 2 years worth of Tai Chi has had a definite impact, and you know, my diet's been basically the same, although you know, I realize that Tai Chi isn't really a heavy-duty aerobic exercise, but I noticed that my weight's still dropping, and you know, and of course, all that contributes to, you know, getting better. But, you know, his contention is diabetes is a chronic progressive disease, and my contention is that no, it ain't. At any rate, I kept up with the Tai Chi, and then had a blood test, and all of a sudden my A1C was hanging in around 6.7, 6.8. So the doctor started cutting back on some of the medications. And then about a year after that, we had another blood test, and my A1C had dropped to 4.6. And my doctor decided that time to really start getting rid of some medications. So probably in another couple of months I'll be due for another blood test, and hopefully I'll be able to get rid of a few more meds. And because the side effects of most of diabetic medications are that it's basically pretty rough on your liver, and you know, you lose that and it gets to be a real bummer. And that's about the story.
So, so where are you studying Tai Chi?
I'm studying it at Turning Point. They've got a real good program going there with a really good instructor named Bill Douglas.
Thank you, Al.
I studied Tai Chi at the Turning Point, a class taught by Bill Douglas.
I have gotten Bill Douglas's meditation CD, and it really, really helps me to relax and get back on track and just get the negative thoughts out of my mind. And I really, really recommend Tai Chi. I'm reading Bill's book, The Idiot's Guide to Tai Chi, and it has been very helpful and gives me a good perspective on what I need to do in my life.